Playing Battlefield 2042 is a woefully lonely experience for me. Now, you can make fun of me if you like and say I don't have any friends, which wouldn't be totally untrue because I spend almost all my free time doing YouTube, but I'm willing to bet a lot of you are experiencing the same sort of feelings. It's hard to properly convey why I feel this way whenever I log on to play Battlefield 2042, but I can't kid myself or pretend it isn't happening. It just feels like a lonely place to be, and sort of soulless, I suppose. To me, this is one of the most important attributes that the Battlefield franchise has that has become lost somewhere along the way with Battlefield 2042. Now, in a minute, I'll get into why that is and how Vince Zampella and his team could potentially fix things, but first, I wanted to touch on the player numbers because they paint a not so pretty picture of their own, and it's obvious that I'm not alone with my feelings. So the other day I put up a video entitled "Is Battlefield 2042 Dying Already?" and in that video I had a quick look at the player numbers on Steam. They were sat at around 25,000 and that video was uploaded on December the 8th. Today the player numbers look like this. The 24-hour peak has dropped by about 7,000, which is kind of funny because not so long ago people were making fun of 2042 for having similar player numbers to Farming Simulator. That's not to say Farming Simulator is a bad game, by the way, but it's definitely way more of a niche than one of the most well-known shooter franchises with its brand new AAA title. Well, Farming Simulator has 44,000 players right now. Battlefield 2042 is in the 70th spot on Steam, and it's hovering around other titles like OG Counter-Strike, a 21-year-old game, and VR Chat. But Ghost, these are just the Steam numbers. What about Origin players and everybody playing on the console? And you're absolutely correct, of course. This doesn't paint the whole picture, so I threw up a simple poll on YouTube the other day asking a simple question. Are you still playing Battlefield 2042? Yes, no, or I refunded. Those were the options. So the poll got around 31,000 votes. Thank you, by the way, to everybody who voted, and the results confirm what I suspected. Player retention for 2042 is failing hard. 49% of people who voted no longer play the game, 8% have refunded the game, and that only leaves 43%, less than half, still playing. Perhaps DICE and EA believe that a game's success can be judged on its sales alone, which was 4.23 million units, thanks to a fantastic marketing campaign. Fantastic, but also misleading and filled with false promises. But I believe a title's success is not based on copies sold, but rather player retention. If EA's endgame is to sell us their live service, their skins, and whatever else they're gonna put on the store, you need players in your game to be able to buy them. And it is gonna be a real uphill struggle for EA and DICE to pull the players it's lost back into the game again. They're going to need lots of content coming thick and fast to entice those players to reinstall the game to check it out, and if they do reinstall it, they really need to be playing a finished game with proper performance. In fact, I would wager that performance on PC has been one of, if not the biggest turnoffs for players, and the reason for this mass exodus. So here's hoping Vince and his team can fix her up good and proper, as we would say in the north of England. But getting back to the main topic here, what can they do about the social aspect of the game? Why is it such a lonely feeling experience? Well, for a start, the friends list, joining friends, inviting friends, that whole system is just terrible. They really need to overhaul the entire thing. I should be able to see who's playing without clicking the social button. I should be able to see who's in my party and what their status is. Maybe even add a ready up button. Even when you squad up with a friend, you can't control who is in your squad, so you'll end up with two randoms that you can't kick to make your squad private. Please, DICE, give us full control over squads so we can have such freedoms, and also so we can play with more than 3 friends at a time. Now, the majority of the time, at least for myself, I'm not playing with anyone, I just play by myself, but in previous games, I would still end up chatting to the players in whatever server I was frequenting. Sometimes I'd get playing with a random squad mate in a vehicle and just stay playing with that person for round upon round because we were doing so well and having a blast. Perhaps we'd even use in-game VoIP to chat a little, and the next day when I played on that same server, he was there again and I could play with him some more. Even if he was on the enemy team, I could still communicate with him, maybe switch teams so we could play together, or just have fun going against one another and having some friendly banter in the all chat. Battlefield 2042 has killed that entire experience for me. My experience in every round now is that I have 3 random squaddies that may as well be bots. If they're absolutely useless and they're dragging us down the scoreboard, there's nothing I can do about it, and personal score isn't really a thing anymore, so you're basically just stuck in a bad position if you have bad squad mates. You can change to another random squad, sure, but who's to say that's going to be any better, right? So what I would like to see is, again, the squad options that I mentioned earlier, a proper scoreboard implemented, and for the matchmaking system to not constantly put me into a new server after every single round, thereby getting rid of the one squad mate I finally found that was actually half decent at the game, or at least dropped a medkit every now and again. Furthermore, if you're not already DICE, please make it a priority to bring back voice over IP and all chat. It really could bring back some heart and soul and actual real human interaction to the game. Yes, I know some people's feelings might get hurt if they get called a poopy head, call me inhumane, but that's just a sacrifice I'm willing to make. Instead of taking away features like voice chat, all chat, and adding things like mandatory profanity filters, I've said it before and I'll say it again, dickheads are always gonna be dickheads. The measures you've taken won't deter them. We just need proper reporting tools and for those reports to be acted upon, and the community will do the rest. That's it from me, guys. Those are my thoughts. Let me know yours down below the video. Thanks for watching and I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers.